Kronos can be very frustrating to speedrun because of the randomness of his Earth Shaker attack, where he just randomly targets your Espers, which means you only have a 20% chance that he will target the unit that you want him to target, which leads to an 80% of the time that your runs are going to be a dead run. But what if I told you Kronos' Earth Shaker attack is not random at all and can be heavily manipulated? Before I show you how to do it, let me just briefly go through Kronos' RNG. His Earth Shaker attacks all enemies, then deals high damage to the enemy with the lowest HP percentage, inflicts stun. But if your units are at 100% HP percentage, then he will quote unquote become random, right? But there is several factors that affect it to not be random. After 100 test runs, I can deduce that there are two main factors contributing to Kronos' AI targeting on his Earth Shatter attack. Factor number one is positioning. Essentially, the unit on the farthest right will be targeted more. And then factor number two is last altered Esper. I'll explain this in a bit, but factor number two seems to be more prominent when it comes to Kronos' AI targeting. And to prove that, I'm going to show you a few runs. I've already run the test 100 times. I'm going to link the video in the description. By using this strategy, you can increase your odds of this last lot getting targeted 65 to 66% of the time. Alright, now let me show you how to manipulate Kronos to be 65 to 66% of the time be in your favor. So number one, your pick needs to be in order. So first pick, I want the attack captain ability, so I'm going to pick Leora first. And then the next unit that I don't want to be targeted is Ollie, so I'm going to pick him next. Next unit is going to be Lu Sheng. First off, I'm going to put Su Hua right here. And then lastly, I'm going to put Tolan because I want him to be targeted. And that's not all. You also need to change some of the relics on Tolan. So right now, I'm only going to be adding a rune to Tolan. This rune, it doesn't really matter what you change on him. From my experience, all that matters is you do some changes to his relics. So I've added him to be on crit damage. And now, when I go into battle, Kronos will target Tolan 65 to 66% of the time. Okay, it's not 100%, it can sometimes go to Su Hua. Su Hua has the second highest chance to be targeted by Kronos. So, within these 5 runs, you might see Su Hua getting targeted. And Ollie as well. But the front 2 spots are gonna have the lowest chance to be targeted. From my testing so far, the leader spot, Leora's spot right here, only has like a 3% chance to be targeted by Kronos. There we go, that's 1 on Tolan. I'm gonna do 5 runs. There we go, 1 more on Tolan. Okay, now it's Su Hua. So still 2 out of 4 on Tolan. Three out of 5 was Tolan. Now I'm going to show you one more test. I'm going to remove all of them once again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick once again Leora first because I don't want her to be targeted. And then next unit, I'm actually going to be picking Tolan. So Tolan is going to be his second pick. Next unit is going to be, let's say, Su Hua, Lu Sheng. And then lastly, I'm going to be picking Ollie. And once again, you need to alter the relics as the last step. So you go here. I'm just going to switch out, let's say, I'm going to switch this to a HP piece. Let's see. Okay, so I've switched this boots into a HP piece. Now, in theory, Kronos should be targeting Ollie more than my Tolan. There we go. Ollie got targeted. Once again, I'm going to do 5 runs. Ollie once again. Okay, this time we got Leora, which is a very low chance. Okay, we got Su Hua this time. 2 out of 4. And we got Lu Sheng. So 2 out of 5. Once again, it's not 100% chance to get the 5th slot, but you significantly increase the chance of Kronos targeting the last slot. So yeah, that's about it. Again, if you want to see the test runs, I'm gonna link it in the description. I did 100 runs. I think the footage is around like an hour long, unedited. I recommend you guys to watch it on 2x speed. So yeah, let me just recap real quick how to completely abuse Kronos' AI on the Earth Shaker attack. Number 1, you need to already have relics on your units. So you need to have your Leora built, you need to have your Lu Sheng built, you need to have your Oli built, your Tolan, and then lastly your Su Hua. And then step 2, you want to be delisting all of your units. And then step 3, you want to be slotting your units in order. So number 1, you want your leader spot, so you're gonna be picking your Leora or Sloan, whatever it is, as this spot. You don't want to drag them. You only want to click on them, okay? And then the next spot that you don't want to get targeted by Kronos, which in my case is going to be Oli. So we're gonna pick Oli. And then next slot is going to be Lu Sheng right here. And then the 4th slot is going to be Su Hua or whatever it is. It doesn't really matter what it is. And then the last slot is going to be the unit that you want Kronos to target the most, which is going to be Tolan. And then one last final step is for you to change some of the stats of these units. For example, my Tolan does not have any piece for this one. I'm just going to give him a attack piece, like this one for example. Boom. And then you go in, oops. And then when you go in, Kronos will target his Earth Shaker attack onto Tolan. Now these are my 100 test runs, slot 1 through slot 5. And then these ones right here are going to be where Kronos used his rock attack. And if you scroll down right here, you can see that Kronos only targeted slot 1 3 times out of 100 runs, and slot 2 4 times out of 100, slot 3 9 times out of 100, and then slot 4 19 times out of 100, and then lastly slot 5 65 times out of 100. So yeah, that's the secrets of Kronos. There's a lot of stuff in this game that is labeled as random, but it isn't. For example, one that I've discovered ages ago is Alice. Her S1 will mostly prioritize the unit on the leftmost spot, so that's one way to manipulate it. And then Uday is also not random when she uses her S2. Her S2 will target the unit with the highest cooldown and moving from the right. For example, if my Tolan and my Su Hua has the same amount of cooldown, meaning his S3 is on a 3-turn cooldown, and then Su Hua's S3 and S2 additively adds to 3 turns cooldown, Uday would target Tolan instead of Su Hua. There's still some stuff in the game that is very hard to debunk whether they're random or not. For example, Xuan Pin's S2. I still can't find a way to manipulate her S2 to target the unit that I want. So there's that. But yeah, that's about it. Make sure to use this stack on Kronos to make sure your runs are smoother, especially if you're using the Tolan plus Oli team. And yeah, ciao.